So in today's session, I have a dear guest, Ms. Dominique Hendren, with me here. I would like to welcome you, Dominique. Thank you very much for joining me.
Pleasure.
Yes. So Dominique is located in Louisville, in Kentucky, in the same place where I live. And I had the pleasure of meeting Dominique a little bit over a year ago. And she has a really inspiring story that she has shared with me. And in today's interview, I would really love if she would be willing to share that with my audience as well. So Dominique, would you mind to present yourself a little bit to us?
Yeah, it would be my pleasure. It was so fun to meet you. We sort of made a beeline at that event to one another, and we immediately discovered that we are from different countries. As I was saying, because we're culturally a little bit aligned in that, just how we have to kind of assimilate in the United States. I immigrated here when I was young and did not speak English, moved to Washington, D.C., and that's where I learned to speak English, and then eventually settled in Florida, and then moved to Boston, met my husband, went to school there, and then moved all over the place. I've lived in many different places, but we do call Louisville home. We've been here since 1999. We've lived here longer than we've lived anywhere else, and I was telling you when we met that I had always been sort of entrepreneurial. That's really how I've always functioned for multiple reasons. One was that I wanted to be home to raise my 3 children. And I've been married to my husband now for 33 years. And we have 3 grown children. And I needed that flexibility. And I think that I learned that because I came from a different environment and had to adjust at a young age. I'm sure you can relate to what I'm saying.
Sure.
You come from a different country, right? You have to just quickly adjust to what
the new environment,
your new environment,
new culture. Yes, it's challenging for sure. Yes,
it's challenging and it's rich, right? So there's so much that you can get
from
that, and at the same time. And so I finally, when we settled here, I had always built businesses. So I started my 4th business. In prior years, I had a cooking business, and I had a painting business where I did decorative murals and things like that. And I painted furniture. So I was always very busy, and it had to work so that I could tuck my children, into all of that. And then in 2001, I started with a retail business. So for all of you retail business owners that are listening to this interview, you will appreciate this. Gathered up all the money, because you can't really go to a bank and say, "Hi, I've never done this before. Please give me a loan." So they wouldn't give me a loan. And we gathered up our money, and we made our big investment. And I opened up a retail store. And my retail store specialized in antiques and in custom handmade furniture. And it opened up 1 month before 9/11 happened. And of course, I didn't see that coming. And it wasn't part of the plan. We all have a plan, right? Our best laid plans, and you get viruses or you get all sorts of things that derail you. But I kept building my business, but the economy was getting very, very bad. So I had to move my business to another location to cut my overhead. And I built it for 8 years. And then in my 8th year, I moved it to downtown Louisville. And then 1 year after being there was a flood in my store. The Ohio River crested higher than it had ever crested before. And my store was the low point, and water came into my shop. And it happened on a Saturday morning. My youngest daughter was with me. And I was standing there and just looking in shock, really, like, why is there water coming into my store? Anyway, within about an hour, there was water everywhere. And I realized at that very moment that the message was very clear. I had to shift and do something else. So fast forward 6 months after this traumatic event, because I had a lot of damage and I was left with a lot of inventory. So now I had lost my store. I had to let go of all my employees. I was by myself, and I was averaging at that point working about an 80-hour work week, just because as a business owner, that's what you do. You work a lot.
Yes.
Because everything is on your shoulder, right? So I got on an airplane, and this was 6 months after this traumatic event happened. I got on an airplane, and you go down the aisle and you're trying to find the seat, and you want two seats that are together, and then there's somebody sitting in the middle. So you keep looking. And finally I found two empty seats for my husband and myself. And there was a lovely lady sitting there next to the window. She was the window seat. And we sat down and we started to chat, this woman and I. And of course, my husband immediately started to take a nap. I don't know what that is about husbands that get on airplanes, but he immediately started to take a nap. It was very funny. And so she and I were speaking, and we just got to know each other. It was a very short flight, 45 minutes. And in that short conversation, she asked me some questions, and I told her my story of losing my store. And she could tell that I was still completely traumatized by the loss of my business. And that I was trying to figure out now, this is important. It was the year 2008. So for all of you, I know you know what happened in 2008. It was a really hard year for everyone, but business in particular. And so she heard me, and we were just talking, 45-minute flight, and she handed me a skincare sample and a business card. And she said, hey, I think that you'd really enjoy this. Try it tonight and call me tomorrow and tell me what you think. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, skincare, fine. That's not really a high priority for me. I don't really care. But I'm very kind, and she was very kind. So I wanted to honor that. So I took it. And as I was getting off the airplane, she told me, this business opportunity, and that's all I needed to hear. Like, there's a business opportunity here with skincare. I didn't understand it all. It didn't matter at that moment. I went to the hotel that evening. I tried the skincare. It was amazing. I immediately saw a result. And I called her the next day. Now, remember, this is 2008. This is before iPhones. This is before social media, right? We didn't have any of that. It was just getting started. And so I called her and I said, do you have a store? How can I get my hands on this? It's really great. I love how my face feels. It was really funny. I was walking around in the hotel room and I was doing this. And my husband asked me, what are you doing? And I said, I just like how my feels. It feels really good. And so I called her and she said, no, just order it online. And that was also a very new concept, to order something online. I mean, you didn't give your credit card away. This was, a very new thing. And so I did, and I started to use the product. And then I started to realize there's a business associated to this product. So I quietly managed my other business that was falling apart. And I started to look at this business. And what I was able to do with that business was, for the first time in a really long time, because of the range of the products, I was able to take care of my health, which I had let go because I was working so much and because I was so stressed out. But when you're a business owner, and you know this so well yourself, when you're a business owner, everything lands on your shoulders, and you have to be responsible for everything. It doesn't matter. No one's going to come and rescue you. You are on your own. And I knew that. So I realized that I needed to take better care of myself, because if I was going to try and do anything well, if I didn't have my health, I was not going to be able to put one foot in front of the other. Eventually it would catch up to me, right? Exactly. So I started to open my mind to learning more and understanding more. And I realized, hey, I have to pay attention to something like healthy omega-3s, or I have to pay attention to consuming proper nutrition so that my blood sugars don't drop, which was actually a really big problem for me. And I have to pay attention to calming down my stress levels. And I have to do that. It was my responsibility, not somebody else's responsibility. And I loved that I had, for me, a product line that I could align with, because the philosophy was very much in line with mine. It was a European-based company. They formulated per European standards. And that was something that was very important to me. And I kept looking at the business aspect of it, thinking, all right, well, I don't know anything about any of this, because I didn't. I knew everything that I needed to know. If you wanted to know something about an antique piece of furniture or how wood grain was working on a table, I could tell you, and I could talk to you about it for hours and hours, but I didn't know anything about this new industry. So, I learned.
Yes. That seemed to the change. And that's something that so many businesses right now can relate to. Your story is really inspiring. And I believe they can relate so much to change is something constant, and especially nowadays, they should really be willing to adapt to the change.
Well, that's the core, in my opinion, of being a business owner, is that you have to, it is never static. You're always having to adjust and edit your business plan. And what I appreciated so much about this direction that I was able to take is that, number one, it freed me up and it gave me my time back. That was the most important thing. And I stopped working 80 hours a week because I wanted to be present with my children. And the whole reason that I started my retail business was so that I could have freedom to choose my hours. But business ownership is so demanding that I ran out of time every single day, right? And so I was able to turn that around. And all of a sudden, if my children wanted me to show up somewhere, I could. And I was able to work this business alongside of my life and focus on my life and focus on building this business. And the sweet spot was that it's virtual. So I was able to release myself from all the overhead and the things that I had from my traditional business, and to incorporate sort of this new way of thinking, shopping online and word of mouth. And it's very interesting because at the end of the day, it's very similar to what I was doing before. I just have more freedom to do it. I still am building relationships. I'm still talking to people. I'm still building trust. I'm still focusing on that one-on-one, but it's just more freeing to be able to do it without a store and without employees, right? For me, that works really, really well. And I'm able to be present in the life of my family too. And then interestingly enough, because I think you know this part of the story too, I thought I knew why I was building my business. But then 2 years ago, my husband got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Oh. And that's when I realized, oh, now I really know why I'm building this.
Yes. Sorry to hear that. Yes.
Because, and I had so much freedom that I could just pay attention to taking care of him. And, imagine if I had to go into a store and be at the store. So I was very thankful that I had already built it, and that I had the ability to use really good products that made me feel good, and gave me the energy that I needed to do all the things that I did.
Yes, exactly. And especially nowadays, because of this COVID situation, online businesses are booming, and we all know that it's very crucial for traditional businesses to going through the process of digital transformation. So fortunately, you don't really need to do that. You are already there. And you are now, by the way, you are vice president of this company called Arbonne, the one that you have just mentioned. I guess it was a destiny to find yourself there. And this company is basically, it's a wonderful opportunity nowadays for other people with entrepreneurial minds to join the company. And it brings a lot of opportunities for online business, basically. Would you like to share something about that?
I would, because what I want to share with the audience is that what I'm learning from younger people, for example, and I have 3 of them, is that one stream of income isn't necessarily enough. And what I've learned is that you don't have to walk away from what you're currently doing, but it's very important to have another stream of income coming in. And if you're already using good products, for example, you want to talk to other people about them because you're excited about it, right? If you go to a great restaurant, okay, right now we're not doing that, but in the old days, if you're able to go to a restaurant, you want to recommend it to people. You say, yes, you need to go to this restaurant. Or for women, if you have a great hairstylist, you want to definitely tell other women that you have a great hairstylist because you want everybody to go there.
Yes,
and it's very word of mouth. And it's the same with this. So we're always recommending really good product. And I have watched people in my particular company not walk away from what they're currently doing, but just adding this in, and it is allowing them to have that stream of some financial ability,
freedom, yes,
right, to keep doing what they're doing. Just because they're recommending really incredible products and other people are enjoying it. And so it's a really beautiful symphony of how that can work. And then, down the road, if you choose, then you can make a change and you can only do one or the other. But I love that freedom of choice.
Yes. So what I wanted to mention is that this company is really a credible one. Because I was present at one on your invitation. I was present on one of your company events with one of your major collaborators in Mercedes showroom, and I could really tell that your company Arbonne is really taking good care of your employees. It's very much possible for somebody starting from the very beginning to get promoted after some time, and you as vice president, you are provided by your company with a new Mercedes vehicle, right? As I remember. So it's really very much credible company, and it's really taking good care of its employees. Now with the rising mental health issues, we can choose not to talk about it, but it's still there, even if we choose not to mention it. I believe it's a great opportunity also for business community to start. Really, it's good to mention that we all need to start taking care of our mental health, our nutrition, and in general, the community, society should basically have understanding for each other. And I'm really glad that you have mentioned that Arbonne has great products that can help us reduce the stress.
Very strong.
We need nowadays.
Yeah, it's interesting. We are 41 years old now as a company. We've been around for a long time. And our focus, very much so, one of the main reasons why I wanted to get involved was because it's a full health and wellness company. So from the outside in and the inside out. And I was really drawn to that. I thought, wow, it's not just on the top, it's deep within. And for example, the stress that we are under today, if you're not using good things for your mind, if you're not feeding your mind, and if you're not feeding your skin and your body and all these organs, your skin is your largest organ. If you're not taking care of that, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, especially under the current stress level that a lot of people are under. And in particular, as, small business owners, I think for sure. So I was able to definitely start taking care of myself with just the easiest ordering system, right? And now, in particular, what we offer is mind, body, skin connection. It's all connected, and just an incredibly powerful three-pronged piece.
Yes, this is wonderful.
Yeah, very, very important. And I wanted to just quickly add the Mercedes super fun perk, which you have to earn, and you do have to work for it, and it's work.
Yes.
And not everybody reaches that. It's a 2% of people in the company are able to reach that. It's work like you have to do anything else. You have to work, and there's a truly put in the effort, but it's so refreshing and it's so much fun, and it's an incredible community, and we love on each other, and we take care of each other, and we lift each other up, and it's very positive, and we see results, and not everybody wants to take it to the level where I've taken it. That's fine. There's a space for every single person, and that is something that I love. And it's a very equal playing field because everybody has 24 hours in a day. So you come into a business like this and you decide where you want to take it.
I'm seeing you mainly on Facebook. You are much more engaged on Facebook, but I believe that this is a good opportunity to increase your connections and followers on LinkedIn as well. And I honestly find your story very inspiring, and I believe your company can help many nowadays who are in search for the job as well. So this is one of the reasons that I really wanted to share your inspiring story and to invite others to connect with you on LinkedIn. You have LinkedIn profile, right? Is this the best way for them to contact you?
Yes, or LinkedIn Messenger. I'm working my LinkedIn game. I'm getting better and better all the time. I am paying attention to my LinkedIn messages, and I'm responding. And of course, there's Facebook Messenger and Facebook. You can always reach me there. I'm on it. I will respond. I'm very proud to respond, and I love meeting new people. Love, love, love. And I love hearing your story. I always find something when I meet new people, whether you want to collaborate or not, it doesn't matter. I just love meeting new people. I've been like that since I was little person.
I could tell that. And there was a kind of, as you have mentioned in the very beginning of this conversation, there was a kind of instant connection between us. You're very communicative, very open, very direct. And I really love this kind of people.
Thank you.
So it was a pleasure to meet you, and it's a pleasure to stay in touch and to have you in guest as well. So thank you very much for this interview. Again, it was a pleasure, and I believe we should repeat this sometimes again in the near future.
I would love it. And I'm truly honored that you asked me. When you asked me, I didn't even hesitate. I was like, yes, because I hope that my story, by sharing it, and I'm very honest about it, is that it opens up the pathway for communication for someone else, or that it touches someone else and they say, wow, I'm in your place, or I know what you're talking about, or I feel that stress right now. And then just reach out to me and we'll just chat. We'll just have a conversation, because it's important to be able to verbalize that to other people. If you hold that all in, that's negative. So you want to get it out. And I'm a really good listener.
Yes, I can tell that for sure. Well, thank you, Dominique. Thank you very much. And stay safe and stay healthy. Until the next time.
You too. And thank you so much for inviting me. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.